Number 5, connective tissue. This is the second basic type of tissue after the epithelial tissue. We will tackle more of them on the next slides. So in chapter 4-1, you will see a table here. The main characteristics of the four basic types of tissues. So you can see the tissue highlighted with the connective tissue is the connective tissue cells are several types of fixed and wandering cells. Their extracellular matrix is abundant in amount, and their main function is to support and to protect the tissues and the organs. Okay, class. So the connective tissues are having the characteristics of mesodermal in origin, and they provide the matrix that supports and physically connects tissues and cell together to form organs. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, kanina ang inyong mga connective tissues has abundant extracellular matrix, but more on that later. So, mas pagtuunan po natin ng pansin itong part na to, mesodermal in origin. So, kaya po siya tinawag na mesodermal in origin because when we are still an embryo, we have a part of your embryo called the mesoderm. That mesoderm has what we call the mesenchyme. So, this mesenchyme, tandaan po natin, dito po nagsimula lahat ng connective tissue. Okay? So, tandaan po natin that this mesenchyme is the origin of all your connective tissues. So, this mesenchyme consists largely of viscous ground substance with a few collagen fibers, as you can see on your figure 5-1. Those mesenchymal cells class para silang mga stem cells. They are undifferentiated. Meron silang large nuclei with prominent nucleoli and fine chromatin. They are often said to be spindle-shaped. So, pag nakita po kayo ng spindle, so parang pantusok ata yun or that was the karayom. Mukha daw po silang ganun. With their scant cytoplasm extended as two or more thin cytoplasmic processes. Maliban po doon, yung inyong embryonic mesenchyme includes also the stem cells for other tissues. So, stem cells nga po ang inyong mga mesenchyme such as your blood, vascular endothelium, and your muscles. So as mentioned earlier, your connective tissues are composed of cells and extracellular substances or matrix. In the interstitial fluid of your connective tissue, it gives metabolic support to your cells as medium for diffusion of nutrients and waste products. So unlike po ng any other tissues like your epithelium, your muscle and nerve tissues, they are consist or your connective tissues consist mainly of what we call the extracellular matrix. And this extracellular matrix class consists of different combinations of your protein, fibers, and the ground substance. Okay, so tandaan nyo lang po, ang extracellular matrix ng inyong connective tissue can be protein, fibers, or ground substance. Okay, or the combination of both. And aside from that, the presence of connective tissue fibers embedded in the extracellular matrix, so again, the fibers may be collagen and elastic. And also, at mentioned, has both blood and nerve supplies. So, madalas po na inyong mga connective tissues may mga vessels. Okay? And also, nerves. Okay? Maliban daw po sa inyong cartilage, okay, which is a part of your connective tissue, pero they have a separate discussion for that, and also mucous connective tissue. Later, mas makikita pa natin kung ano yung mga mucous connective tissues na yan. Please also take note that your epithelium is avascular. So, again, sinabi ko naman to nung previous slides or the previous videos that your epithelium is avascular. Wala pong dumadaan na blood vessels sa inyong mga epithelium. But, they have nerve supply. So, may they have their nerve endings. Okay? So, aside from that, meron din pong mga glycoproteins na nag-help na to stabilize your extracellular matrix such as your collagen and your integrins. Also, water with this ground substance allows the exchange of nutrients and metabolic waste between cells and the blood supply. So more of them later. So for connective tissue proper, they are composed of three major components. Your cells, your fibers, and ground substance. Isa-isahin po natin sila. Let us start first with cells. Okay, class. For your connective tissue cells, we have, if I'm not mistaken, I have 10 different cells. Pero iisa-isahin po natin sila, don't worry. So they are the mesenchymal cells, the fibroblasts, the adipose cells or the fat cells, the macrophages, neutrophils, eosinophils, and lymphocytes. This three class, ito pong tatlong to, they are considered one type or what we call the WBCs. Okay? So later isa-isahin po natin sila. Then plasma cells and your mast cells. Okay, class, please give a highlight for your table 5-1 on your book because it has the summary of the cell types and their main functions. Isa-isahin pa rin naman natin yan, class, so don't worry. And we have 8 different cell types. Okay, so again, kung wala po kayong time mag-memorize ng lahat, you can have this table 5-1 for your summary. And figure 5-2 class gives us the visual representation of our connective tissues. It's cellular and its extracellular components. So makita po ninyo, this is the ground substance, this is the protein fibers na meron yung ating connective tissues. Resident cells niya is the mesenchymal cells, which will, next slide po ang mesenchymal cells, the macrophage, the adipocytes, and the fibroblasts. So, kung mapapansin po ninyo, ganyan po kadami yung laman ng kanyang ng inyong connective tissue. Lalo na po itong part na to, the extracellular matrix. Kung mapapansin nyo po, class, dito pa lang sa part na to, ang dami na ng fibers, collagen, and reticular. So, ayan, kalat-kalat po yung mga fibers niya. And also, the ground substance that compose the extracellular matrix of your connective tissue. Okay, as mentioned earlier, class, you have what we call the mesenchymal cells. So, there are the pinagmulan ng inyong mga connective tissue cells. So, parang sila po yung sisilbing precursor ng lahat ng inyong connective tissue cells. So, your connective tissues develop from the embryonic tissue to the mesenchyme. So, that embryonic tissue is located in your what? Mesoderm. Okay? These mesenchymal cells are small fusiform or stellate cells. So, mapapansin nyo po sa picture earlier sa figure 5-2, makikita ninyo that your mesenchymal cells are like stellate or para daw pong mga bituin sa langit. And also, these pluripotential cells give rise to another cell types as needed arises. Okay? So, it can be, sabi ko nga kanina, it can be blood, it can be muscle, and it can be others na kung ano man po yung kailangan siya. This is the figure of your mesenchymal cells. So, mapapansin po ninyo, mukha daw po siyang star o kaya daw po small fusiform like cells. Okay, so ayan po ang itsura nila. They are undifferentiated, ibig sabihin po, hindi sila particular kung ano man sila. So para po silang mga bata, hindi pa na nila alam kung anong gusto nila sa life. Okay. Okay. One of the evolution of your mesenchymal cells can be your fibroblasts. Okay? So yung mga fibroblasts na to, class, they are fusiform cells with long tapering ends, and they may be flattened stellate cells with several slender processes. And also, they are originated locally from your mesenchymal cells. And ito, class, yung mga residente na talaga ng inyong connective tissue. Di ba nga sabi ko kanina, those are fibers. Okay? Maraming fibers po ang inyong connective tissue. So, itong mga fibroblasts na to, their nucleus is large. So, malaki daw po ang mga nucleus nila. Large. So I will highlight large, elongated, pale staining with 1 to 2 nucleoli. Okay? So tandaan nyo po ang characteristics ng kanyang nucleus. Also, they found along the bundles of collagen fibers. So, una, pag gusto niyo silang hanapin niyo po muna ang mga collagen fibers. So, pag nakahanap na kayo ng collagen fibers, probably sa gilid niyan may mga fibroblasts. At ano pong function ng mga fibroblasts na yan? They produce connective tissue fibers and ground substance. So, sila po yung mga precursor ng mga ground substance ninyo. Also, they are the most common cells in your connective tissue proper, as mentioned earlier, produce and maintain most of the tissue's extracellular components. So, class, please take note na ang mga fibroblasts, ang sinisecrete nila or sinesynthesize nila ang inyong mga collagen and elastin. Okay? Meron din po silang sinesynthesize na mga glycosaminoglycans, proteoglycans, and multi-adhesive glycoproteins na meron po sa inyo ground substance. Okay. So, class, please also take note that in your book, there is a difference between an active part of your fibroblast and also quiescent fibroblast. Okay? So, kapag daw po active ang inyong fibroblast, o ibig sabihin, sila ay nagre-reproduce, they are termed to as fibroblast. Pero kapag tapos na po, they are mostly the mature ones, ang tawag na po sa kanila ay mga fibrocytes. So please take note po of the difference of the two. So again, kapag active, they are called fibroblast. Kapag quiescent or wala na, hindi na pwedeng magkaroon ng cell division, they are now termed as fibrocytes. Here in figure 5, that's the class or your fibrocytes. So this is the fibroblasts. Okay? The fibroblast, ito po yung isang buo niya. They have a large nuclei. So kung makikita ninyo, ang lalaki po talaga ng mga nuclei nila. And also they are spindle shapes. Okay? So ito pong mga to, makikita niyo yung pink, those are the collagen bundles. Okay? Collagen bundles po sila. They are eosinophilic cytoplasmic processes na tinatawag po nating collagen bundles. So, ayan po yan. And also here on B, we have active and quiescent fibroblasts. So, ayan po makikita ninyo. Sabi dito, while inactive fibroblasts or yung fibrocytes daw po ay maliliit na lang. Okay? Maliliit na lang ang kanilang nuclei or sila, and they have a heterochromatic nuclei. So, ayan daw po yung mga nuclei nila. Okay, yung mga naka-arrow ng inyong mga quiescent. So, probably, kung ganito po kaliit yan, ito po ang tinatawag natin na fibroblast or yung active fibroblast. Okay. So, aside from your fibroblast, we also have the adipose cells or adipose tissues called the fat cells. So, it came from the Latin word adeps means fat and the Greek word kaitos means cells. They are also connective tissues, class, pero more of them on the next topic. Okay, next chapter. So, they are fixed cells of the connective tissue specialized in the synthesis and storage of lipids. So class, tandaan nyo po na ang inyong mga uh, connective tissue adipose cells are for the synthesis and storage of lipids. Okay, lipids is a kind of fat. Okay, so and also aside from that, they also contain a single large lipid droplet and fat vacuole that pushes the nucleus towards the periphery. So parang ano to class, meron siyang nucleus sa loob, pero ang nangyari, since marami siya, ang pinaka-purpose nitong adipose tissues ninyo ay mag-store ng fat. Okay? Mag-store ng neutral fats. Ang nangyayari, yung mga lipid droplets na yan, pinupush niya yung nucleus papunta sa gilid. So parang siksikan sila class kung kayo ay nag-LRT. Sipin nyo na yung isang buong bagon ay ang LRT. Tapos yung isang tao is what we call the nuclei. So kapag may mga pumasok na mga lipid drop cells or yung mga tao na from the other stations at kayo yung nuclei, 'di ba napupunta kayo sa gilid, napupunta kayo sa malapit sa pintuan, 'di ba? So sobrang sikip. So parang ganito po ang nangyayari sa inyong mga adipose tissues. Okay? So they are having what we called adipocytes. So kung kanina yung fibrocytes, they are the the basic unit of your fibroblast or fibroblast is the basic unit of your fibrocyte. Dito naman class, ang pinaka basic unit niya ay called adipocyte. Okay, sorry po sa sulat ko. So adipocyte ang pinakatawag sa at cell niya. Okay? So more of them later on the next chapter 6. Ayan po class ang itsura ng inyong mga adipose cells. So dito po ang stain niya ay more on violet color. Pero class ang inyong mga adipose cells can also be pink. Okay, may mga stain na ang ginagamit nila pink ang kulay. Okay, pero ang pinaka matatandaan nyo lang po dito para siyang mga butas. Okay, and this is the nuclei. Ito po yung sa gilid. Wait na, magpapalit ako ng color ng ito. Ayan, class. Kaya po kung mapapansin ninyo, mukha daw siyang ring. Okay? So, kung makakita na kayo ng engagement ring, diamond ring, na nasa gilid po yung bato, ayan daw po ang itsura ng inyong mga adipose tissues or adipose cells. So far, class, we have met two of your cells of the connective tissues that you have. First is the fibroblast and pangalawa po is yung adipocytes or fat tissues or fat cells. Ngayon naman, kakausapin natin or makikilala natin ang inyong mga macrophage. Your macrophage are the principal cells of your mononuclear phagocytic system. Class, marami kasi tayong mononuclear phagocytic system. Isa po doon ay ang kanyang mga mas batang macrophage called the monocytes. These monocytes, so monocyte po muna sila, mga batang monocyte. Then, pag nag-circulate na po sila sa blood, ang gagawin ng mga macrophages na to ay didikit sa mga tissues. Okay, magmamigrate sila sa mga tissues at kapag nandun na po sila, ang tawag na po sa kanila ay mga macrophages. Okay, ano bang ginagawa ng mga macrophages na yan? They have what we call the phagocytic ability. So, mga kumakain po ng mga items or mga substances, lalo na po ang mga protein fibers and removal of dead cells. So, mga scavenger po sila. Okay? They remove dead cells, they remove tissue debris, and other particulate material being specially abundant at the site of inflammation. So, later, ano po ba yung inflammation? Malalaman po natin siya. So, yung mga typical daw po na macrophages na katulad nito sa gilid ninyo, ang pinaka-diameter daw po nila ay 10 to 30 micrometer. So, napakalaki po ng mga macrophages na yan. And those macrophages has what we call the nucleus. Ang kanila pong nucleus ay oval and kidney shaped, dark staining. So, ito pong mga nucleus nila ay hindi po nasa gitna at isa pa, pwede silang maging oval and kidney shape. Okay? And aside from that, meron din po silang mga numerous granules sa loob and also storage vacuoles. Okay? So they have what we call these granules para po sa kanilang pinocytotic and phagocytic abilities. Okay? So, yung mga yan, ginagamit po yung mga granules na yan para makapag-phagocytose sila. So, in this slide class, you will have the points to remember for your macrophages. So, maliban po doon sa mga nasa unang slide kanina, ang pinaka-importante pong kailangan yung malaman sa inyong macrophages at they are what? They are the principal cells of your mononuclear phagocytic cells. Very good. Or mononuclear phagocytic system. So maliban po doon, kailangan nyo ring malaman that your macrophages is also called as your histiocytes. Okay? Histiocytes. Ang mga pathologists po natin, class, or yung mga doktor specializing with the cells or the laboratory, ang madalas pong tawag nila dyan ay histiocytes. Okay? Huwag pong kakalimutan. Dahil madalas silang present sa inyong mga connective tissues. Aside from those, there are also what we call antigen-presenting cells. Okay, so ito yung mga unang-unang sumusugod. Siyempre, they are in the organs. So, malapit po sila sa mga organs. So, unang-unang titignan ng inyong mga macrophage ay kung ano ba yung pumapasok sa inyong mga organs. Kapag nalaman nila na or kapag nasa-sense nila na ang pumapasok po sa inyong mga organs ay mga invaders, okay? Mga mananakop or mga bacteria na pwedeng sumakop sa inyong organs, sila yung unang-unang makikipag-away sa mga antigen na yon or what we call antigen, okay? Yung mga invaders. So kapag nalaman nila na may mga invaders sa inyong katawan, they will become activated. Okay? Magiging activated sila bakit? Or lalaki po yung mga macrophages ninyo dahil they need to increase their capacity to phagocytosis. Again, phagocytosis is yung nangangain po ng mga kalaban. Okay? Kinakagat po nila yung mga kalaban na yan. Okay? If you wanted to have a visual representation ng mga to for phagocytosis, you can watch class The Cells at Work. Okay? Malalaman nyo doon na yung mga macrophages na yan, malalaki po silang babae kasi doon sa animation na yon. Pero your phagocytosis or yung phagocytosis na yun, para lang silang kumakain ng ibang tao. So more on cannibalism po yung itsura nila, class. Kinakain po nila yung ibang cells na hindi na kailangan. Okay? Maliban po doon, class, kasi yun yung function nila, class. Yun yung function ng inyong macrophages, kumain ng mga dead skin cells. Okay? And also, they have what we call these enzymes. Okay? Enzymes po, yan, sinisikret po ng inyong macrophages. Hindi porket war freak yung mga macrophages ninyo, hindi na po sila tumitigil. So once na tumigil na po sila or sinabi nila ay kaya ko na to, under control ko na to. Gagawin nila, pupunta po sila sa or mag-release sila ng what we call enzymes or what we call cytokines or growth factors na sabihin sa mga immune cells, o tama na, wag na kayong pumunta, kaya ko na to. O kaya, kailangan nilang mag-repair. Okay, mag-repair ng inyong mga cells. Again, ang mga macrophages po, more on, kumakain ng mga dead nuclear cells o kaya kapag need nilang mag-repair ng inyong mga collagen fibers. Sila din po yung kumakain sa inyong mga excess na collagen fibers. Okay? And also, they form what we call the multinuclear giant cells. So class, kapag po ang inyong mga macrophage ay na-stimulate or lumaki or nag-activated, nag-i-increase po sila ng size, inyong iba sa kanila nagfo-fuse to form multinuclear giant cells. So kapag class meron na kayo nitong multinuclear giant cells in your body, ibig sabihin po malala na po ang kondisyon ninyo. So more likely ang mga ito kasi ay nakikita sa mga pathologic conditions. Okay? Ano po yung example nun ay mga TB or tuberculosis. So more likely sa mga TB patients, sa kanilang mga macrophages lungs nila, makikita nyo na po ang multinuclear giant cells. Okay, so class, again, yung mga macrophages po natin, from being a monocyte, pupunta sila sa mga tissues. So, yung macrophages natin, pahihirapan tayo sa kanilang mga location. Okay? So, ano po yung mga location nila? Kapag sila ay nasa blood, they are called monocyte. Kapag they are in the connective tissues, anong sabi ko kanina? They are called histiocytes. So, again, they are called histiocytes. Okay? Next po, kapag sila naman ay nasa liver, Kupffer cells. Okay? Kapag po sila ay nasa lungs, alveolar macrophages. Kapag bone, they are called osteoclasts. Kapag nasa glomerulus, there are mesangial cells. Sorry, nabubulol. Kapag po nasa central nervous system sila, they are called microglial cells. Okay? So, mga glial cells. And also the skins, in the skin they are also called the Langerhans cells. And kapag nasa lymph node na po sila, they are called dendritic cells. So class, wala po akong pwedeng sabihin sa inyo dito but to memorize all of them. Okay? Ayan po sila. Again, ulitin po natin. Kapag nasa blood, they are called monocytes. In connective tissues, which is our discussion for today, they are called histiocytes. Kaya nga, di ba ang sabi ko kanina, the pathologists are calling them as histiocytes. Sa liver, Kupffer cells. Lungs, alveolar macrophages. Bones, osteoclasts. Glomerulus, there are mesangial cells. Central nervous system, they are in microglial cells. Skin, they are present as Langerhans cells. And in your lymph nodes, they are present as your dendritic cells. Again, class, kahit maraming pangalan yan, lahat po yan ay tinatawag natin na macrophages. Pero ang pinaka bata sa kanila or ang pinaka unang-una po sa kanila before silang maging kung ano-ano mang tawag dyan is the monocyte. So, magta-travel po sila from your blood vessels, then magkakaroon sila ng transfer to these different tissues or different organs, kaya tuloy may iba-ibang tawag po sa kanila. Okay. Okay, class. So again, in table 5-2, please highlight or please do highlight this on your books. Okay. So table 5-2 gives us the summary of your phagocytic or your mononuclear phagocyte system or your macrophages. So ulitin ko lang po, for your monocyte, they are in the blood and their main function is the precursor for your macrophages. Okay, may macrophage naman po, ito yung pinag-uusapan natin. It can be on different tissues. Anong ginagawa ng mga yan? Produce cytokines. So, yung enzyme na pinoproduce po kanina na sinasabi ko sa inyo are called cytokines. Maliban po doon, nagpo-produce din sila ng mga chemotactic factors katulad ng inyong mga multinuclear giant cells. And several other molecules that participate in inflammation. So, pag may inflammation po kayo, ayon po ay tinatawag na defense, antigen processing, and representation. So, yung mga Kupffer cells, yung mga microglial cells, ang ginagawa din po nila ay same sa function na inyong mga macrophage. Langerhans cells, antigen processing and protection. Dendritic cells, antigen processing and presentation. So, yung mga osteoclast yung mga osteoclast, mas mabidiscuss po natin sila when it comes to your bones. So, ang ginagawa lang po niyan ay localized digestion of your bone matrix. And yung mononuclear giant cells natin ay segregation and digestion of different foreign bodies. Again, ang multinuclear giant cells ay nakikita lang po sa pathologic conditions. Okay, class. So, marami na po tayong nakikilalang mga cells. Dadagdagan pa natin sila. Di ba? Ang dami natin kailangan aralin. Again, for mast cells, so they are the largest of the free cells of your connective tissue. The mast cells are oval or irregularly shaped cells of your connective tissue. So, ang range daw po ng kanilang diameter ay from 7 to 20 micrometers. And marami daw po silang what we call the basophilic granules. Okay? Yung nucleus daw po nila ay pale and small. Okay? Itong mga basophilic granules na to, madalas ay natatakpan na nila yung kanyang central nucleus katulad po nitong figure 5-5. So itong mga basic granules na yan or these granules are electron dense and of variable size ranging from 0 to 3 to 2 micrometer in diameter. Okay? Class, wag nyo na siyang masyadong alalahanin yung mga diameter na yan. Pero okay lang din naman kung gusto nyo siyang alalahanin para makaroon kayo ng differentiation between the cells. Okay, kunyari si macrophage kanina from 10 to 30. So ito daw po si mast cells 7 to 20 micrometer in diameter. And also, makikita dun daw po ang mga mast cells na yan along the course of your blood vessels. So sa mga blood vessels po, makikita nyo rin sila and beneath the epithelium of your respiratory tract and gastrointestinal tract. Excuse me. So, sorry class, no? Hindi ko na siya na-spell out. Respiratory tract and gastrointestinal tract. Okay? So, sorry po, hindi ko na po siya na-spell out. Then, afterwards, these granules daw po ng inyong mast cells ay nagdi-display ng metachromasia. So, ano po yung metachromasia, class? So, yung ini-expect mo na kapag ang kulay ng dye ay green, nagiging ibang kulay po siya pagdating sa mga mast cells. So ang more likely, ang ginagamit po kasi na dye dito po sa pag-visualize ng inyong mast cells is what we call basic dye. Isa po sa mga basic dyes na yon ay tinatawag natin na toluidine blue. So again, glass, hindi ko na masyadong i-elaborate pero gusto ko lang gusto ko lang spell sa inyo. Ayan. So, toluidine blue. Okay. So, marami kayong maka-encounter pa na ganyan class when it comes to your histopathology on your third year. So, ayan. So, toluidine blue, isa siyang basic dye. Okay, basic dye. Ibig sabihin class, basic dye, bakit natin kailangan ng basic dye? Dahil po, yung mga contents ng inyong mast cells ay acidic. So dahil acidic yan, mas ma-visualize natin sila kapag gumamit tayo ng basic dye. Mag, um, mas kakapit yung mga acids na yan into basic. Okay? Para maging neutral sila. So dahil daw po sa high content of acidic radicals in your sulfated glycosaminoglycans, ang mga mast cells na to from blue, since toluidine blue is blue, minsan daw po nagiging purple sila or nagiging red. Katulad po ng nakikita ninyo sa figure 5-5. 'Di ba? Imbis na blue sila, nagiging violet or purple o kaya po red. Okay? Ang tawag po doon ay metachromasia. Okay? Metachromasia. So, mast cells class continuation po ito, pero dinagdagan na natin ng basophils. Basophils is also part of your white blood cells, pero more likely, pinasama siya kay mast cells kasi magkakulay sila. So, yung mga cytoplasmic granules din kasi ng mast cells, meron din kay basophils. More likely, katulad po ng histamine. So, yung histamine is an important vasoactive amine na meron sa katawan natin. Okay. These mast cells function in the localized release of many bioactive substances, important in the local inflammatory response, innate immunity, and tissue repair. So, kapag may allergy kayo, di ba, dumadami po ang histamine. Okay. So, ano yung mga epekto ng histamine? Vasodilation or pagpapalaki po ng surface area ng inyo blood vessel. Pangalawa, increase vascular permeability. So, pwede nang pumasok at lumabas ng blood vessels ninyo ang mga kailangan pumasok at lumabas. Hindi na siya mahigpit. Then, smooth muscle contraction. So, magko-contract po ang inyong mga smooth muscles. Okay? Kaya minsan kapag nag-allergy kayo, 'di ba, nagko-contraction. So more likely um naninikip yung dibdib, 'di ba, pag nag-allergy. So naninikip yung dibdib, smooth muscle din kasi ang meron sa dibdib natin, class. So kaya po nagkakaroon ng smooth muscle contraction para mapigilan po ang ano, mapigilan yung pagdami or pagkalat ng mga dahilan kung bakit tayo nagkaka-allergy. So, ano pa yung mga other granules na makikita nyo sa mast cells at sa basophil? Una is the heparin. So, class, familiar naman siguro kayo kay heparin, no? So, hindi siguro to yung first time na rinig nyo yung heparin. Pero kung ito yung first time na rinig nyo yung heparin, balikan po natin yung order of draw. Okay, so order of draw sa inyong PMLS or yung phlebotomy ninyo, unang-una doon is yellow, pangalawa is blue, pangatlo ay red. Ang pang-apat and before the EDTA tube or the violet top is the heparin top. Okay? Heparin top or tinatawag po natin na green top. So yung mga heparin na yan also serves as your anticoagulant. Okay? Sila po ay mga glycosaminoglycans na nag-act locally as your anticoagulant. And your heparin also is the naturalized anticoagulant. So mas more likely kung gusto niyo mag-preserve ng mga natural causes, ang pinaka recommended po na anticoagulant is your heparin. Aside from that, we also have serine proteases na nagiging mediator ng inyong inflammation. Okay? Meron din po tayong mga eosinophil and neutrophil chemotactic factors. So, ayan po ay nag-a-attract sa inyong mga eosinophil and neutrophils para pumunta doon sa site of inflammation. We also have your cytokines. So, again, cytokines, maliban po sa mga macrophages, meron din pong mga cytokines na release ang inyong mga mast cells and basophils. They are polypeptides directing activities of your leukocyte and other cells of your immune system. And maliban po doon, we also have the phospholipid precursors. Itong mga phospholipid precursors po nito ay nako-convert daw into prostaglandins, leukotrienes o kahit ano pang important lipid mediator sa inflammatory response. Okay? So again, tandaan lang po natin na ang pinaka mga granule na meron sa inyong mast cells at sa inyong mga basophils are the histamine, heparin, serine proteases, eosinophil and neutrophil chemotactic factors, cytokines, and phospholipids. So meron naman po itong mga tuklas, hindi ko na nilagay yung mga functions nila, makikita nyo naman po yan sa inyong libro. So search nyo lang po sa mga libro ninyo. So plasma cells. Plasma cells are the next type of cells that we're going to discuss. They are widely distributed in your connective tissue and they also arise from the proliferation of your B lymphocytes. Meron iba't ibang klase ng lymphocytes kasi. So, isa sa mga types nun ay B lymphocytes. Those are the lymphocytes coming from your bone marrow directly. Kaya po ang iyong mga plasma cells are lymphocyte-derived antibody-producing cells. So, nagpo-produce po yan ng mga antibodies ninyo. And your they are relatively large ovoid cells, have basophilic cytoplasm rich in rough ER and Golgi apparatus near the nucleus. Kaya daw po nag-appear sila pale in routine histologic preparation. So, mamaya po, figure 5 to 7 will give us those information. Ayan. So, there are spherical or ovoid cells, ulitin ko lang, with eccentrically located nucleus. So, paulit-ulit lang po tayo. So, ano pa yung may eccentrically located nucleus? Macrophages. In which the chromatin, so yung mga chromatin daw po nito, ay arranged in a spoke of wheel pattern o sabok po ninyo, ang tawag doon ay clock-shaped pattern or clock-faced appearance or patterns. So, yan daw po ay mga peripheral clumps of your chromatin. Okay? And also, As mentioned earlier, they synthesized antibodies. However, ito pong mga inyong mga plasma cells, madalas ay mamamatay agad because their lifespan is only for 10 to 20 days. Okay, so medyo mababa po ang kanilang mga lifespan class, yung plasma cells ninyo. 10 to 20 days lang ang kanilang average lifespan. So, ayan class, figure 5-7 gives us your plasma cells. So, dito daw po sa A, makikita ninyo, ayan yung clock shape or clock-faced pattern. So, yung mga light daw po na yan or peripheral clumps ay tinatawag po natin na heterochromatin. Okay, yung mga heterochromatin daw po na yan, nagka-clump sila, kaya daw po nagbibigay sila sa atin ng clock-faced pattern or appearance. Dito naman po sa kabila, makikita ninyo yung mga plasma cells natin na may mga malalaking Golgi apparatus. Okay. Yung mga Golgi apparatus daw po na yan ay makikita or involve sa terminal glycosylation ng inyong antibodies. Okay, so mga Golgi apparatus po na yan na pinapakita ng arrow, yan po yung nagpo-produce ng ating mga antibodies. Okay. So, kapag po umalis na sila sa site of origin nila, pupunta sila sa connective tissue and they will produce antibody to mediate immunity. Okay. So, madalas po sila ay nasa bone marrow. Okay. Sila po pinagmulan ng ang pinagmumulan po ng mga plasma cells natin ay ang bone marrow. Okay. Okay, class, medyo madami-dami na tayong cells na nakikilala. Pero ito pong susunod na mga slides ay makikita ninyo ang WBCs or collectively known as WBCs or your white blood cells. Isa po sa kanila ay ang inyong mga neutrophils. Your neutrophils are rarely found in your normal connective tissues. Pero mas makikilala nyo po sila, mas dadami sila kapag meron kang inflammation. And ito po ang predominant or napakadami phagocytic cells sa inyong peripheral blood. So more likely class in your hematology or baka nung anatomy physiology ninyo, nakakita na kayo ng mga neutrophil. So hindi na po ako naglagay ng picture ng neutrophil. Sila po kasi ay mga more likely makapag-aralan ninyo in your hematology class. Next na WBC cluster na kailangan natin pag-aralan is the eosinophils. So your eosinophils are normal constituents of your connective tissue. So kung yung kaninang neutrophil hindi daw sila makikita sa inyong connective tissue, itong eosinophils more likely mga tambay ng inyong connective tissue. So saan daw po sila madalas nakikita? Sa connective tissue of your nasal cavity, lungs, skin, and the lamina propria of your intestine. Again, class, yung mga lamina propria, 'di ba? Napag-aralan na-discuss ko to sa inyo nung time ng epithelium. Yung mga lamina propria, yan daw po yung mga connective tissues and something underneath your epithelium. So, kapag baba ng basement membrane and major organs siya like your intestines, ang tawag na daw po doon ay inyong lamina propria. Okay, so marami daw po doong WBC, particularly eosinophils. And itong eosinophils na to class, even in your hematology, mas makapag-aralan nyo sila, they are attracted to the site of the histamine release. Kaya pag may allergy or allergic infection, madalas maraming eosinophils. And maliban po doon, marami ding more responsive din po sila sa parasitic infestations. So, class, yung mga eosinophils na yan, they are also stained pink. No? Pink sila, class. So, if ever manonood po kayo, yan, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I highly recommend manood po kayo nung tinatawag, yung Cells at Work na anime. So, pink po sila. And ang cute ng visualization dito, class, sa eosinophils. Kulay pink sila na mga itsura, ang damit nila pink. Tapos meron silang fork na dala-dala, parang trident ni King Triton sa Little Mermaid, no. So, yung mga trident na yon, Kapag bacteria yung kausap or yung kalaban nila, hindi sila masyadong nakakaporma. So parang um, hindi sila masyadong more likely sa mga bacteria. Kasi sa cells at work, madalas ang kalaban nila doon, mga bacteria. Pero may isang episode na ang kalaban nila doon, more likely, ay mga anisakis. Anisakis, isang parasite na nakukuha ninyo sa pagkain ng raw fish. Since kumain ata ng raw salmon yung body nila, yung tao na nag-ano sa kanila, walang makakatalo doon kahit si macrophage din niya matalo eh. So ang ginawa nila, tinusok nung eosinophil gamit yung trident niya, yung anisakis, namatay. So, yun po ay representation that your eosinophils more likely are responsive to your parasitic infection. So, sa totoong buhay class, if ever na meron kayong allergy at nagpa-CBC kayo, nangangati kayo, nagpa-CBC kayo, ang more likely tataas is eosinophil. Maliban po doon kapag meron kayong parasitic infection, so mga parasites will be discussed on your next SEM pa ata for your clinical parasitology. So pag nakakita kayo ng mga parasites na yan, more likely ang tataas sa inyo ay eosinophil on your differential count. Okay. So ayan class, medyo kilala na natin to mga lymphocytes because dito nagsimula ang mga alin, mga plasma cells, 'di ba? So, yung mga lymphocytes na yan, they have a small number in your connective tissue. Pero daw po, abundant sila sa stroma ng inyong mga lymphoid organs and lymphoid nodules. Kaya po sila tinawag na lymphocytes. Kasi more likely sa mga lymphoid organs and lymphoid nodules sila nakikita or sa inyong lymphatic system. And also, sabi ko na, they are the principal cells of your lymphoid system. Okay, lymphoid system. And class, if you remember your anatomy really well, isa po sa mga part ng inyong lymphoid or lymphatic vessels or lymphatic system is your thymus. So, kung kanina sa mga plasma cells, meron silang mga B lymphocytes. Okay, mga B lymphocytes. Sa bone marrow sila nanggagaling. May mga lymphocytes din po na nanggagaling or nagmamature sa inyong sa inyong um, thymus. Okay, kaya po ang tawag doon ay T lymphocytes. Okay, team lymphocytes ang tawag sa mga yon. Okay, so you can, again, I recommend you po if you want to further this study, this WBCs, manood po kayo ng Cells at Work. Ang cute-cute po nilang representation nila doon, your T and your B cells. So, these are inflammation. Inflammation has their cardinal or major signs. Lima po yan. Redness, swelling, heat, pain, and loss of function. Sa histopathology po ninyo, ma-discuss nyo rin po ito, rubor, tumor, calor, dolor, and functionalisa. So, classically, the major signs of inflamed tissues include the redness and swelling with heat and pain. So, rubor et tumor cum calore et dolore. So, yung redness po class is because of increased blood flow and vascular permeability. Okay, so ang unang-unang mangyari ay mamumula po ang inyong affected site. Then because of this increased blood flow and vascular permeability, they will produce local tissue swelling or edema. Swelling or edema. So it increases redness and warm. Ang pain po or dolor is due mainly to the action of the chemical mediators on local sensory nerve endings. All these help protect and repair your inflamed tissue. Kasi class kapag hindi po yan na ayos or hindi siya naagapan agad, it can go to functionalacia or functionalasa, which is the loss of function. So wala na kayong magagamit kapag hindi niyo siya naagapan. Chemotaxis, from the Greek alchemia or alchemy, and taxis, orderly arrangement. It is a phenomenon by which specific cell types are attracted by specific molecules, draws large numbers of leukocyte into the inflamed tissue. So, ibig sabihin po nun, chemotaxis is a chemically induced pagmamaritesan ng mga cells papunta doon sa site of inflammation. Yun po, meron silang mga chemicals na pinapadala or parang mga messages na sinasabi nila, uy, pumunta ka dito, kailangan tayo. Okay, this is chemotaxis. Okay, class. Ewan ko kung nandito yung, alam ko wala to sa book ninyo, pero this is the figure of your hematopoietic stem cells. So, yung mga hematopoietic stem cells po ninyo can differentiate to different cells. So, kanina po, you have the red blood cells. It can be basophil, it can be eosinophil, it can be neutrophil, it can be mast cells, it can be osteoclast, it can be microglia, Langerhans cells, monocyte na nagiging macrophage, and B lymphocyte na nagiging plasma cells or T lymphocyte. And also the megakaryocyte. Kasi itong dalawa sa taas, the red blood cells and the megakaryocytes, hindi po natin sila diniscuss because they are not included in your hindi po sila included in your connective tissues. Pero yung mga yan, madidiscuss natin sila more likely kapag dumating na po tayo sa blood. Okay, kasi they are major components of your blood, especially on your red blood cells. Okay. Itong sa baba naman, class, more likely itong mesenchymal cells, 'di ba nga? Sabi ko sa inyo, ang mas ano nila ay fibroblasts. Ito po. Then may mesothelial cells, endothelial cells, smooth muscle cells. More of them, itong nasa baba, once we go to the other types of your connective tissues. Okay, so ito ay mga differentiation lamang. So, babalikan po natin yan pag nandun na tayo sa inyong mga tissues or connective tissue proper. Yan, ito naman class, this is the representation of your cells. So, ayan po ang yung fibroblast. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi na fusiform or stellar unit. Your plasma cell, kitang-kita po dito yung clock phase appearance. Adipocytes or adipose cells. Large lymphocyte, your macrophage, your fibrocyte. So, fibrocyte po ay quiescent na, hindi na siya nagpo-produce. Kaya mas maliit na siya in relation to your fibroblast. Eosinophils, neutrophils. Ayan po yung cells na may pigment granule, small lymphocyte, and your mast cells. So again, class, huwag po kakalimutan. Ito po ang mga itsura nila. Pero more likely, mabivisualize nyo yung mga yan pagdating po ninyo sa laboratory.